Hello friends, welcome again to this tutorial, which is now the first session of the back office. And as we had said earlier, we will actually check on how to do purchases in this tutorial, and I'll show you how you are going to raise an order. So initially we had focused on the inventory, and we've touched on so many things all the way to the reports. And as we say that we have so many reports here, 100 plus reports, and that's why it is encouraged when you get the system, please make sure you analyze some of these reports and check them for yourself. It is good to analyze these reports. So every module has such a like reports. Every module, like you see, when I click pause here, there are reports, and then when I click inventory, there are also reports at the end of it. And then when we speak of purchases, there are no reports at the end, but majorly there are some of the areas that will have reports, and there are some areas will not have. Like now you say factories, there are reports because there are some of the activities that you need to monitor. So where there are so many essential, those essential activities, nitty-gritties that you really want to know, so that is where now you will find them. At the last module, there is a report at the last module. Now I want to show you how to raise an order in the back office. Now raising orders in the back office, it is two-way. But first of all, you cannot raise an order unless you have a supplier account. So this is where you create our suppliers. As you can see, this is where we do our suppliers. And of course, it is directly, this is where you do your orders. This is where you do your orders, and you can also see there is a module here that speaks of order guide. So you have your suppliers, you have your orders, and then there is an order guide and all that. So okay, now this is unfortunately the supplier manager is open. So this is where you will create your suppliers in your back office. That is, in a nutshell, that is if you are only using the back office. But if you are using this HQ module, then the supplier accounts or the supplier manager is actually created in the accounts there, which we will deal on that when we will be dealing with accounts. So this is where you create the suppliers. You just come new if you want to create a new supplier, and then you say, maybe you say here Q001 because he is the first Q. And you realize in the back office, everything you do here, you end up doing it manually. Unlike when you will be using the HQ module, that is the accounts module, whereby you will not have to type these supplier codes. You only type the first letter of the name, and then this code is generated automatically. But now for the case of the back office, since it is a standalone, you will have to do it manually. And this is the standard of the supplier codes on how you're supposed to create them. So the name, maybe we can say it's Queen's Suppliers. Okay, 001. So this is Queen's Suppliers. So that is Queen's Suppliers. That is how you create the supplier, and then you just say okay. And then of course the supplier will have been created, as you can see down here. This is Queen Suppliers, and then from there you are able now to input the address, if it is PO box or private bag, so to speak. Let's say that, and then here if you've set towns, you are able to select towns, Bungoma, and then you can put your telephone number, faxes, and then emails, like no email. Okay, no email at nan.com. Okay, and then contact person, you can say maybe this supplier, the person we are contacting is Kevin, of course. Yeah, so that is how you put the suppliers updates in the back office, and then you update. So that way you will have created the suppliers in your back office module of the Positive ERP. Okay, so this is the orders. This is how you create an order. There are two ways of making an order. One way is you can either come here and then say new order, and then once you say new order, you can either press F1 for search, because you realize there is no search module here, so you can press F1 for search and then search the items you want to order within your system. So let's say I'm ordering 100 pieces of that, so the orders will come there. And if I know the codes, I will just say, so maybe that is the code, and then the order will come. Then this one also, you order 100 pieces, so to speak, and then you say that. Then after that you say done. So you can order more, as many as you want, and then once it's done, you save it. Then the order will be saved down here. Let us give it time. I know it's searching for a printer. It's just searching for a printer. Then after some time it will print. Normally it prints automatically, and since I don't have the printer, then it has to search for a printer, and then finally your order will appear here. So it will be synchronized there. It will appear somewhere down here. So let's see. So there it is printing. So here is the order. Okay, you can see the order number there, who is the supplier, and then you can see here the items that you've ordered, and then you can when you scroll down here, you can say for internal use only. So this is one way. The internal use, this is as in if maybe your branch is ordering items from the headquarter or from the warehouse, so they need this kind of products to be supplied to them, or to be transferred to them. So this is the order they will use. The branch is ordering things from the headquarter, and then the headquarter will supply them via a document called the IBI. But that one, we will handle it in the coming tutorials. We'll be able to see how IBIs are being raised and all that stuff from this order. So once the branch has done this, they will simply scan this, or even scan this and then attach it in mail, and then send it to the mail to the headquarter. So when the headquarter gets the mail, then that is when now they will send the products back by the use of an internal branch invoice or an IBI. So we will check on that. We'll check on that, how the IBI is being raised. So this is one of the internal orders that is being raised. And then of course you'll have the history here. You can view it here, and if you have the rights, maybe you can delete. But it is never advised that you delete anything that has been done in the system unless authorized. Yeah. So that is one way of raising an order in the back office. That is an internal order, and this is of course the order guide. This is the order guide. Like for example, if I want Armstrong is my supplier, so I will say Armstrong here, terms to use maybe. Okay, so here you say terms to use maybe, then here you say terms to use maybe. I will just put one there. Division factor, I will leave it 1, and then I will say generate. So if I say generate, it will give me all this nice wonderful report. Let's see, you can see now this is the order guide now. So it will tell you description here, it's the bag, this is the code, and then livestock unit, this is the 7. Okay, so this is the movement, past 1 day, this is the movement, and then past 2 days, this is past another 1 day. Remember there I had put 1 somewhere, I had put 1. So you can even select maybe 7 days or whatever days and see how these products or different products have been moving, so that from this order guide, that is when you are able to know which products maybe you need to order, or which ones maybe you don't need to order, depending on their having seen their movement and all that stuff. So it helps you to actually do away with dead stock or items that maybe you think are not moving as such. So this is the guide, and of course this is the order guide, supplier department and all that stuff. Same order guide. If you are selecting a supplier, or maybe you can select all terms to use, maybe I will say, let me just put here, you remember initially I'd put 1, but now I'll put maybe, let's see, 30 days. Division factor, maybe I would say 1, and then let's see, So it's really all, because we've generated all departments, so it will really print a few number of pages. So you can see this is the order guide, order guide via department. So you can see here department, items, cost and description. So here you can see the supplier first is Armstrong, and then department here is garments, and then item code is 7009, and then description is yeast, and then the cost is 0.04. So you can see there it is in grammage and all that stuff. So this is HQ unit. When you receive them in headquarters, you receive them in cartons, but when they come to the branch, they're in grams. So this is something that is being used for manufacturing. So that's why it is in this grammage here, smaller units. So livestock, this movement in 30 days, and then you can also check the movement, ideal, stock value for 30 days at suggested order. So this one also will help you actually know what to order and what not to order in response to their movement and even their stock. So you can also be able to know this supplier, he's actually supplying us good products that are moving. So that is the general order guide. So with the airtime, this is where you sell airtime or from the server. That is airtime vending, whereby all the airtime is pushed into the POS, and then people can be able to buy the airtime via the POS. But every time you buy them, then the back office actually generates. Now right now it may not open because I don't have the airtime server and all that stuff. Let me see, I can see it is trying to populate there. So this is how it looks like. The GRN's physical stock of your airtime, you can check that, and then also you can do operators. So you can see this is Safaricom, you can see also Airtel, and you can see. So this is in terms of the service. Airtel service providers, they sell you their airtime via, okay, they send it like in the server in a bulk format. So it is installed in your server so that you are able to sell it just on POS direct. So if somebody wants airtime of 50 shillings, you ask him, is it Airtel or Safaricom? They say Airtel. Okay, then you are able to sell it via the point of sale. So that is how it works, but most businesses, I don't see them doing that. Now let's get to purchases here. Let's get to purchases before I come to GRNs and credit notes. So purchases, let's get to purchases here. Go. Okay, now this is one of the ways in which we said you can generate an internal order, and this is also another way that you can generate both orders, and that is majorly the supplier orders. You can generate them from the back office. So this is where you do it. So you can see all the LPOs for this branch that were raised. You are able to see them from here. If maybe you can be able to backdate, like for example here, unapproved. There are some companies that will need an LPO to go through an approval process before it is actually executed. And then here you can check all LPOs. Maybe I can backdate if I have any LPOs here. Okay, then I'll refresh there. So it seems like I don't have any LPO. So let me backdate again. And then refresh it again. So it seems like, yeah, my business is clean. All the LPOs have been approved. So you can see LPOs for this branch. You're able to see them here. And then GRNs at the warehouse. You can be at the branch but know what has been done at the warehouse. That is at the HQ level. You're able to see that. And then that is only if you have the rights. And then internal branch invoices. This is what now we call the IBIs. They were able to see. So if there is any internal branch invoice or items that are being actually transferred to your branch, so this is where you are able to see them, even if they are still on transit. So this is where you are able to see which items are coming to your branch, and then you are able to view them before even they arrive. So and then here on transit, these are items that are still on transit. Okay, the vehicle, they are still on the road coming. So this is also, you are able to see them here. You have not received them, but they are on transit. So you are able to see, like this one here, it is on transit. So what happens here, I can view. Okay, here I can view. So you can see this one is an internal branch invoice or an IBI, from which warehouse, this is the headquarter, and then to my branch, the supermarket, and then even I can see the vehicle number that is bringing these items. Okay, and then when you scroll down here, you are able to see who raised this IBI. Okay, so this IBI was prepared by who. Then you are able also, sometimes in details, you can see vehicle number, of which we've seen. You can see the turn boy and the driver's signature. You can and then who loaded it and who approved it. So those are some of the details that the system captures when you are doing an IBI or any document that is being raised within the system. So this is a product that is coming into our branch here, and it is still on the road coming. It has not received, but I'm on the branch. I'm able to see what is coming, the pieces, how many pieces are coming, and all that stuff, so that when they arrived, you are able to verify the physical products and what the document says. And then these are GRNs at branch, those goods received notes that were done at the branch. Then you are able to see. Now this is how you do the LPO. Okay, if you want to do the LPO, you simply come select here the LPO, and then you say new. Of course, this is an LPO for this branch, so you say new, and then you select the supplier here. I will say Armstrong. Okay, I'll say Armstrong here, and then from there Armstrong. Then of course, once you've selected the supplier, there's order validity days. So these are, maybe it could be 15 days depending on the terms with the supplier. So maybe 15 days here. If you are the one picking the items for yourself, so you put a tick there, it is self-transport. But if it is a supplier that is actually delivering them to you, there is no need of putting there. And then here, of course, you can put the comments. Maybe you can say as per the terms. Okay, so there you can put that, and then you start indicating the items that you are ordering. Let's say this is order number 1. Okay, then maybe I need 100 pieces, and then I could say again this product number 2. And then I will say I need also 100 pieces, and then let's say this is order number 3, this product number 3. Sorry, just pressed F1 here. Say product number 3. I will say again it's 100 pieces, and then I will say again product number 4. I don't know if it is existing. Okay, thank God it's existing. I will say I need also 100 packets. Okay, and then I will say again product number 5. So that one does not exist in my database, so I'll put another here, product, another code. Say I will say I need 50 bags. Then I will select F1 just to search by name, because I can't remember all of the products. So you can see here that this is where you input the product, the supplier, and the moment you put a supplier here, the system gives you a supplier price list. So what normally this supplier actually charges you. So you can see the supplier product, which is the last product here that we had. So every time you put a product, you compare the supplier price list and see how much the X factory last time charged you was this. Now X factory, it is the amount without the VAT. Okay, the amount without the VAT. So this is where this X factory is here. So if there be any discounts that this supplier gave you, it will indicate here the amount of discount the supplier gives you. And then of course there is a VAT, which is 16%. So if you add 16% of this, then it will give you the final cost, which is the invoice cost, which is around there, this one 5,000. So normally when people do orders, or when they do GRNs, okay, the most place that they need to focus on is the X factory, because this one is not constant. it always changes, and once it changes, that's why you find even your prices also will automatically change. So this is the most thing that you need to consider. So when you raise an order as per the price list of this supplier, so that when he supplies you goods with his invoice, then you need to recompare that how he used to charge you and if the charges have changed. So that is when now you need to consider. That's where people who do GRN need to be very considerate and very sober in focusing on especially the ex-factory prices. So once we've done that, the order, we say done. So we just click that, and normally when you say done, it will print automatically. And since we are not printing, I'll remove this tick here, and then that is the order we've raised. So we've already raised our order. So let me refresh this first and come here. Then I will say all LPOs. Let me see. This is 2012, 2020 to 2021. So how come I'm not seeing my order that I've raised? Unapproved, not yet received. Okay, I did not indicate this when I was raising my order, so that is why I'm not seeing it. Because remember, you have to indicate deliver to which branch, so I had not indicated that, so that is the problem. So let me see here. Okay, so here let me say Armstrong. So I will indicate all. Okay, say from HQ. Okay, HQ. And I'll say deliver to branch. Deliver to branch. Or specific warehouse or on Sons. Not yet received and approved. Okay, all POs. So this is an order I raised from the branch, but it is actually showing at the headquarter. So I may not actually be able to see it here, but I've raised that LPO, so it is showing at the headquarter. So once you've raised it like that, what happens, the HQ will see and they will be able to deliver these items back to you. But the order, I think, is supposed to appear here. I wonder why it's not appearing here. Is it because I don't have those rights? But anyway, that is it. We can check maybe the HQ and see. Let me just show you a little bit of the HQ here so that you can see, but we will deal with the HQ later. Let me just take you through the Okay, so while it is opening, let's just go back to, so that is how an order can be raised in a branch level. There are two ways: you can raise an internal order or you can raise a supplier order. So that order, see how it is opening. So that order is supposed to appear here. So once it appears here, okay, then you are able to view the order. I just want to show you how the order will look like. So let me see, the HQ has opened. So this is the HQ module, but we will be dealing with it in future, so don't worry. I just wanted to prove something here for you. So the HQ module is just like the way you can see the the interface is just the same as the back office. Okay, the interface is just the same, but the only thing is that the functionality here, there's a lot of functionality at the headquarter than so you can see the back office, it begins with POS, pure point of sale, but the HQ begins with the purchases, that is the accounting. So I just wanted to see something here about these orders here. So purchase orders here, let's see if it has appeared here. Okay, so it hasn't appeared, but we will just check on that. So okay, this is specifically for the HQ, so currently it's not appearing. I don't know why it's not appearing, because this is an order I just raised here. Okay, but it will, no worries, let me give it time. So once it is appearing, you can view. Let me just show you the format of how the LPO will look like. So this is how it will look like. This is how the LPO looks like. So you can see this is how the LPO looks like. Now this one is a reincarnated LPO. It means that you had ordered specific items, like this one was ordered, but there was a balance that the supplier did not actually deliver. So that's why the system generated a reincarnated LPO from LPO number 26. So the now LPO number 26 is the original LPO, but now this reincarnated LPO number 27, this one is just an LPO to show you that 2 pieces actually were not delivered, so the supplier is supposed to deliver for you 2 pieces. Kwa hivyo supplier yuko na deni yako. So this is how the LPO will look like, and when you look at down here, it also indicates who raised the LPO, also indicates who authorized the LPO, and then there are barcodes here for security, because when you scan that barcode, it's supposed to give you this LPO number. Okay, so when you scan the barcode, it's supposed to give you this LPO number. So that is when now, that is how you do away with fraud. Okay, anybody can create this style of an LPO in River Road and come and deceive you, but when you scan it, okay, then in the system it will give you the LPO number. So from there you will know actually this is an LPO that was raised in your company. So that is, in a nutshell, that is how you raise an LPO from the back office. Okay, that is how you can raise a supplier LPO from the back office. Okay, now likewise also at the back office we have what we call the credit notes. Remember we spoke of the credit notes. Okay, remember we spoke of the credit notes. So these credit notes, they are normally used to transfer stock from point A to point B. So these C notes can be, actually this is how they are raised. Maybe if you want to transfer stock, okay, to return stock maybe from point A to point B, you can actually return and even select the car number there. Once you've selected the car number there, what happens here is you just say new, and then you say credit note request CNL type. So there is a credit note type A, which is actually for price drop, okay, if maybe the prices have gone down. And then there is also a credit note type B, which is for stock returns. So if you want to return the stocks, you use credit note type B. But if you want to actually return the stock because of you want to actually correct the pricing, then you use the credit note type A. So, and then there are also transactions here for the headquarter. That is, if you want to return it to the headquarter, or you want to return those stocks directly to the supplier. So when you return, you just click there and then you indicate supplier's name. You can say here maybe Armstrong. Okay, that is my supplier. And then you say you are raising C note. Subtype, you can select the subtype. I have not indicated any subtype. So this is a credit note type. You can say maybe stock. Most of the time people do stock returns. It is rarely, price drops is very rarely, but most people do stock returns. And then you select their supplier, and then you say okay. So it will generate that credit note. If it is you are taking it to another branch, you're transferring stock to another branch, that is what you do. You select another branch and then you select the name of the branch, and then you, but if you are doing it to HQ, you are returning stock to HQ, then you select their HQ and then you just say okay, and then it will automatically minus the stock from your existing stock. So here from the HQ, you are able to see the credit note on transit, and then you're also able to see the CNA's debit notes on transit, and then you're also able to see credit note on transit received, and then there is credit note received at branch. So credit note on transit received and credit note received at branch, and then this is credit note on transit. So these are some, and then these are credit note listings. So you are able to see, like now this is a credit note that was raised. Okay, it is on transit, so it was raised. We can view it. You just click view. So this is an internal branch credit note. This is how it is, and this is the item that was actually being returned. Okay, so you can see the file copy, and then you can also see down here who actually raised it. Okay, you can also see that. So that is how, in a nutshell, you do credit notes at the back office, and it is the same formula when you are actually doing it at the HQ. So it's the same formula. And then finally we have cash purchases. These ones you can post cash here. Voucher, this is where you can receive from HQ the cash that was received from HQ, and then purchase goods, cash that were used to purchase goods. You indicate amount there, and then you say receive items. If it is purchase goods, you can receive items. Which items were these? So if I say received items, then it will auto receive. Okay, but since we are not auto receiving anything, I'm not doing that. So receive from HQ, you indicate amount that was given to you from the HQ. If I say maybe 10,000, then this one will be active. I'll say okay, and then it will indicate that these are the cash purchases that were received from the HQ. So that is actually how to raise orders at the back office. That is how to raise orders at the back office. And of course, the other thing is that once all the transactions that were done, then there is what we call banking. Okay, you can do banking from the back office. So this is how you do the banking. Once all the Zs have been done and all that stuff, so the chief cashier will come here and select the bank that he wants to do banking. So he comes here and select those banks. Then of course the bank number will appear, because these are things that are already preset already. So you come and indicate session date and banking date. Now session date and banking date, they are different. Session date is the day when it's the date equivalent to the Z report. Okay, the day all the machines, those machines gave their Z reports. Okay, and then the banking date is the exact banking date. Okay, is the exact day when you did the banking, as at the banking slip, the date in which the banking slip is speaking about. Now the reason as to why it was placed like this is because you'll find at times the days that you do Z reports and the days that you bank are different. Okay, you may do a Z report, let's say on a Saturday, and then on Sunday you don't bank because banks are closed, but you end up banking on Monday. So that date of the banking, that is the date that you need to indicate here. So as per the slip of the bank, you indicate the amount here. If you had banked that amount, you indicate the amount here as per the slip, Okay, and then if it is cash, you just say cash. So this is the date that you're going to do banking. So you indicate here that cash, and then you say okay. Okay, and then you come back, you say checks. Again, you select the same date again of the checks of the same date. Then you say okay. Of course, you have to write details here. Okay, you have to put some details here. what actually transpired and all that. Then also the PDQs, the same, of the same date, you indicate amount of the PDQs, and then you put the date here, you put the details, and then of course the EFTs that were done of the same dates, then you indicate the amount, and then put the details, and then of course the PIN pad. Because this is, you are doing it, you have the receipts, especially the PIN pads and the PDQs. You normally have the receipts. So what you do, you come and indicate the amounts indicated in the receipts, and then of course put your details, and then say okay. So that is how you do banking at the back, or at the back office. So when you check here, there is a banking listing, and then we have bank variances. Okay, so with the bank variances is that after Z reports have been done, what happens is the back office will always expect that amount of money that the POS had actually projected to it. Okay, so it will be expecting that amount of money to be banked. Like now you can see here, expected session banking of this date. So this is the amount the back office is expecting to bank. But since you've not done banking so far, it is nil, then it automatically assigns you a variance of that. Okay, so you realize that is why the cashiers are always, chief cashiers are always tough on cashiers, because if any variance incurs in a point of sale, then it means that variance will be replicated all the way to the back office. And who will be liable here? Whoever is liable here is either the manager or the chief cashiers. These are the ones who are liable. They will have to say where the money went. Okay, so they have to ensure also at their end there is no variance that will ever appear, because the system expects the amount that was sold in the system, that should be the very amount that is actually banked. Okay, so if you don't bank, then you are accumulating variances. If you are not banking, you are too reluctant in banking, then what happens? The system is assigning you variances. So that's why it's advisable that you ensure banking is done as soon as possible. So there are also expenses here. So you are able also to monitor your expenses and post those expenses at your back office. Okay, and then also you are able to check your petty cash. So all the petty cash, I've shown you how, I did show you how the petty cash is being taken from the point of sale. So once it's taken from the point of sale, those petty cash will all come and reflect here from the back office. So this is the petty cash. They will come and reflect here if they were taken from the point of sale. And I think you remember the procedures of the point of sale. So you see this is a petty cash that was taken from till 1, not till 2, till 1, till 1 sort. So this one were taken, so they will come and appear here at the dashboard. So these are the petty cash that was taken, and then you can see also expenses. If you want to see the expenses, I'm backdating because I don't have data, so I just wanted to make sure you see something here. So funny, we don't have expenses yet. So if there are any expenses also, they will come and populate here. So in those expenses, what you do, they just post. The chief cashier will come and post them here. So what happens is that it is an expense from HQ. There are expenses from HQ, and then there are expenses as a result of the stock to expense, and then there are petty cash expenses also. Now most branches, they will always have either petty cash expenses or expenses from HQ. But there are also some we will have also stock to expenses. That is how it appears. So this is how things normally happen, and this is how you do the posting. Let's say if it is expense from HQ, you just click HQ expense, and then you say okay. So once you say okay, here you define the kind of expense. That is the date. You select which expense. If it is light bulbs, if it is lunch, you indicate lunch. Then you say how much. If it is 300, you say 300 details, you indicate maybe the name of the person. Let's say this is lunch given to this man called Dan. Okay, and then you say okay, and the value is okay, you say okay. And then of course your expenses will appear here. You can also view it. Okay, so I will say this is lunch. It was put here. Please view into the grid. Okay. I will view it in the grid for another time. So if you want to add any other type of expense apart from these ones that you have in the system, you are at liberty to add them. You just say here, you put the number and then you put the expense name, and then of course you have to tag it with a specific nominal code or chart of accounts, that which you will also maybe have created. So that is how you, and then of course there are this analysis. So those analysis I can say be here. See those, let's see those analysis there. So of course it will print, and then of course you can see the analysis. Lunch was 300, total is that 300, branch expenditure analysis. So that is what is actually given there. So that is how you post the expenses at the back office. And then there are also petty cash I've shown you, and then there are these HQ remittance. Those HQ remittance, you can also post the HQ remittance. But normally this one normally happens, this option is no longer available as it has been duplicated. Yeah, so the remittance is normally done from the HQ level, so we deactivated it from the branch level. So but if you are operating on a branch level, there is a way we can actually activate it for you, so that but it doesn't make sense when you only have one branch and you want to do HQ remittance, because you must have an HQ format for you to be able to operate this. So here you can also check the M-Pesa features. So here the M-Pesa features, pay bills and all that stuff. This feature is only available if the back office M-Pesa module is activated. So I have not activated the M-Pesa module. So consult, you have to consult Fanny. It's asking me consult the product vendor, and I'm the product vendor myself. So that one I haven't just actually activated it. So and then we have statements here. You can print all the statements. You just select that, and then you just say print. So once it is printing, it will print for you the entire branch statement. Okay, it will print the entire branch statement. So this is for the period 2. So you can see till Z document from HQ to HQ, balance, transaction, blah blah blah. So all that, it will actually indicate for you those statements there, so that you are able to know the status of this branch and how it is performing. Are they actually, do they have a lot of expenses, all that. And then we have this end of day reports. Okay, so end of day reports is just like a full statement. Also you are able to print it. Let's just print it and see the end of day report. Of course it's look for a printer. I hope it will not stay here long. Okay, it's looking for a printer. So while it's looking for a printer, let's wait for it. It's printing, because it will be printing. So it normally to print several copies. Yeah, it can print like 4 copies or 3 copies or 2 copies. Like now this one is printing several copies here. Okay, so it's an end of day report. So it is compiling every report, everything to paper. So it's going to print a lot of things, but Thank God I don't have the printer here, so I will not go have an expense of losing papers. So at the end of the day, after all those activities that are done, banking, the Z reports have been made, and banking has been done, posting of expenses and petty cash has been done, you've checked everything. So this is where now you come and close the day. So closing the day is simply electronically taking all the information that has been happening at the branch to the headquarter electronically. So you see, what you simply do, you just simply select the date. You can see 8, that is the date of today, of the date of the day that the Zs were done. And then what you do here, you just click update HQ, and then you can see confirm update HQ. Do you wish to update daily data, days for this branch to HQ for the date range? You say yes. So once you say yes, all these black dots, everything will be updated. So you can see here the updates are taking place. So now I'm moving all the data from the branch to the headquarters. So instead of me going to the headquarters physically, submitting physical documents, now it is being done electronically. So you can see now the back office is pushing data to the HQ server electronically. So that is how it happens. And then you can see their updates performed successfully. So the updates are already done. So once I've clicked done, you realize there is a difference here. Okay, so all those black dots are no longer, which is a symbol of data. So those ones are fully updated. So like you can see gift vouchers. I never used any gift vouchers here. So the gift vouchers are just there because I didn't use any transaction with the gift voucher. But anything else has been actually ferried to the headquarter. So if we go back to the headquarter, you will be able to see what exactly has been actually ferried there in terms of expenses, petty cash, financial, in terms of Z reports, everything has been pushed to the headquarter. So those guys at the headquarter are able to see these things live. So once you do that, the close day, it means that is the end of the day. So what was done during that day, the report has been submitted to the headquarter. So you're waiting for the next day. Okay, so that is it on how you can raise LPOs from the back office and how you can do banking from the back office, and at the same time on how you can do what we call a close day from the back office. Yeah, normally people think that close day is the Z report. Z report is only done at the point of sale. But once the point of sale, they've done the Z report, then everything is, for the HQ to get the reports, you have to do it you have to close the day. And that close day is done at the back office. Okay, it's done at the back office. Otherwise, thank you very much. We are going to look at factory mode, how it operates in the next video. Please remember to join us there. See you there, so that as we are actually breaking these modules or sub-modules within the back office of the Positive ERP that is made by Aspire Software Ltd. Thank you very much for being with us, and see you in the next video. Thank you a lot. God bless you.